This video is brought to you by Skillshare. More on them later in the video. Hey, who am I? A Feraligatr. I realized recently that whenever I do Pokemon episodes on this channel, I pretty much always just do the Pokemon as superheroes videos. And I mean, I don't regret having done any of those, but it's meant that I haven't done that much diverse stuff with Pokemon designs on this channel. I've done a couple of fusion things, there's the old Random Booster Art Challenge videos, and of course there's that Pokemon side-scroller animation that almost drove me insane making it. But I think it's time that I did something else with Pokemon. Hence, today doing another one of my Dragon Light videos, turning something into dinosaurs. Super excited to see how this turns out, so let's go. Hit like if you want, subscribe if you feel like, but either way, enjoy the show. Millions of years ago, thundering beasts called dinosaurs roamed the earth that we now call home. Today, let's look at some of the more unusual dinos. First up is the Violet King Rex. This member of the Tyrannosaurus family was a vicious predator with far more combat assets than your average Rex. The horns running from its head to lower back were tougher than diamond and would be used to jab into foes to incapacitate them. Not only were they deadly for their density, but also for the coating of poison that ran along these dinosaurs' backs. Even if a foe managed to get away from them after having been jabbed, the King Rex could track them down and find them after the poison had worn them out. They also had brutally strong tails that could be swung to obliterate trees or rocks or, more usually, any prey that the Rex was hunting. At 11 feet tall, they weren't the biggest dinos out there, but their ferocity spoke for itself and made them creatures that no others wanted to face up against. Now, a reason I was super excited to be doing a dinosaur episode this week was because I realized that most of the time when I do dinosaur episodes, I do them in a week when I need to do a video quickly. Like the Smash Bros. One I did in a week where I was doing 4 videos for whatever reason, and the Ben 10 Dinosaurs episode was one that I made as a bonus video to put out halfway through the week instead of putting it out on a usual Monday or Friday. So it was really nice doing a dinosaur episode and having a little bit more time to think out the designs and to get to do 4 designs like I would in a normal video, not a bonus video. And these drawings were still easier to do than dragon drawings or something like that, because I can kind of just look at an image of a T-Rex and be like, okay, I'm gonna draw this same kind of anatomy of this T-Rex, but just add a few little things to make it, you know, a Nidoking T-Rex. For this one specifically, as I often do when I'm drawing T-Rex kind of characters, I was referencing designs from the V-Rex, the T-Rex kind of thing from the Peter Jackson King Kong movie. I haven't seen that movie in ages, but I remember absolutely loving the designs of the creatures in that, and specifically the V-Rex. I always thought it was just so cool looking. I tried drawing it a bunch when I was younger, and now looking back to it, it is still great for referencing to make a really cool, menacing T-Rex kind of creature. Super happy with how this first dino turned out. Looks a lot like Megatron when he's in his Beast Wars T-Rex mode. That's just kind of a random side note, but anyway, here it is, our Nidoking T-Rex. Next, we head to the depths of the seas to take a look at the feral Mosasaurus. These beasts were technically members of the Mosasaurus family, but got part of their name for their alligator-like features. They mostly blended into the murky blue waters, save for the red spikes that jutted from their heads, backs, and tails. Many things made these creatures formidable, from their incredible speed to durable hides, but their most dangerous assets were their massively powerful jaws. A single bite from these creatures would have been strong enough to chomp through a foot of pure steel. If they had access to steel to try it out, that is. Often, they would bite down onto larger prey, then, as a modern-day alligator might, they'd do a death roll, spinning their prey over and over to tear their flesh, to disorient them, to prevent escape. Luckily, despite being partially related to alligators, these dinos were residents of the water only. Had they been able to wander up onto land, many earthbound dinosaurs likely would have gone extinct much quicker. Now, what can I say? Doing that weird My Hero Academia characters as fish episode really did get me inspired to do more fish-like creatures. This one was so fun to draw that I ended up formatting it in a way that would work for a poster partway through the drawing, which I hadn't originally planned on doing. I had considered just making Feraligatr into a dinosaur, crocodile, alligator kind of creature, but I really wanted to do something with the Mosasaurus and something with a creature that was purely a water creature. Maybe I could have picked a better Pokemon for that, but I really wanted to do something with Feraligatr. I don't know if I've done anything on the channel with Feraligatr, and I've definitely told people on here before that Feraligatr is possibly my favorite Pokemon. Feraligatr, Charizard, and Raichu are probably my 3 favorites of all time. Plus, Nidoking is definitely up there, and I don't know if I'd done anything with Nidoking before doing that T-Rex, and both Nidoking and Feraligatr just felt like such perfect fits for this episode. Turning them into menacing, carnivorous dinosaurs just felt like such a fun idea, and I had so much fun doing both of these drawings. It was also a really nice challenge doing a water-bound creature underwater with the cool light streaks coming in. I referenced some images of the Mosasaurus that was used for marketing Jurassic World when it was coming out. And I gotta say, I think this is one of the coolest things I've drawn in a while. And it didn't even take me that long. It was like 2.5 hours. Super happy with this. Hope y'all like it as well. Here's our Feraligatr Mosasaurus. Now, as I've done in the past, the reason that I chose to draw creatures for today's episode is because today's episode is sponsored by Skillshare, and I personally learned how to draw creatures by taking a class on Skillshare by Jeffrey Jacobs called Drawing Animals from Anatomy to Rendering. But even that barely scratches the surface of all the awesome stuff you can learn on Skillshare. For anyone that doesn't know, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes made by creative and curious people for creative and curious people. And at less than $10 a month, it's honestly one of the best places you can go online to learn whatever creative thing you want to get better at. They've got classes on illustration, photography, filmmaking, animation, writing, just any creative thing. They've got classes for it on there. Over the years, I've taken tons of classes on there, and currently there's another one that I'm thinking of taking called Find Your Style, 5 exercises to unlock your creative identity. Because even though I already have a style that I really like, it's always super interesting getting to see how other artists develop their style and what things they do in their artwork that makes their style their own. Hearing how different artists think about their art is always super useful. Also, the guy who made this class is named Andy J. Pizza, and if that doesn't convince you to want to take a class by this guy, then I don't know what will. And because Skillshare is sponsoring this video, the first 1,000 people that click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership. I highly recommend, if you've never tried it before, take a crack at it. Skillshare is genuinely a fantastic place to learn to become a better artist. But anyway, that's enough sponsor talk for now. Let's get back into the next dinosaur, shall we? Next up, let's take a look at the Spindaquil. Small relatives of the Spinosaurus, these creatures stood at 10 feet tall, and on first discovery were misclassified as raptors. But upon further research, they were found to have large, jagged spines running along their backs. Interestingly, when some bones of these creatures were found by paleontologists, they were found with parts of their hides still intact. Upon studying the skin, it was found to not only be sturdy and long-lasting, but completely fireproof. These creatures were rather docile by the standards of carnivorous dinos. They mainly hunted small mammals, but didn't have large appetites. They would often stand with their heads tucked down, almost as if they were shy creatures, and would only flare out their heads and spines in an attempt to scare off predators. That is, at least how they were in the Triassic period. Moving forward to the Jurassic period, these timid creatures slowly evolved to become larger and have more menacing demeanors. In fact, many of the dinosaurs that we're looking at today had different forms through the different eras during which their kind roamed the Earth. Maybe in the future we'll explore how they looked once they'd evolved. Now, I only thought up that little tidbit at the end of the lore in the actual writing stage. For this character, I wrote the lore after I drew the design, and that kind of got me excited for future Pokemon as Dinosaurs episodes, because I hadn't thought about the fact that dinosaurs lived long enough that they could evolve over millions of years. Obviously not the same way Pokemon do, where they just suddenly change into another creature, but I could in future episodes explore, like, I don't know, what Typhlosion would look like as a dinosaur, as an evolved version of this same dinosaur. It's a cool idea, I might explore that more. But anyway, as I started doing this drawing, I had originally intended to make this one kind of more menacing than Cyndaquil actually is, because I kind of just wanted to draw a cool, scary Spinosaurus, but as I was in the drawing process, I kind of just, I don't know, felt out the drawing and realized, nah, this really will work better if I just make it a little bit cute looking. I had considered doing Cyndaquil's actual eye, because for a lot of these I'm trying to use their actual eyes on the dinosaur to really sell the idea that this dinosaur is representing this Pokemon, but I didn't love how it was going to look, so I decided to just add a pattern that's kind of like Cyndaquil's eye, and then have the Spinosaurus eye inside of that. I thought that was fun and kind of worked, and still kind of makes this dinosaur look cute-er. I also had lots of fun adding the skin textures on this one. Like with the My Hero Academia fish episode, I left out a lot of the details from the inking stage and just decided on the colors and textures on the dinosaurs in the actual coloring stage. I don't think it would work for every kind of drawing I do on this channel, but for dinosaurs I think it definitely works. Anyway, hope y'all like the Spindaquil. Here it is. Finally for today, we take a look at a member of the Hadrosauridae family, the Hadrachu. These are the smallest of the creatures we look at today, rarely growing larger than 6 feet tall. These creatures very easily stood out in whatever environment they resided in thanks to their bright yellow bodies, only broken up by a few sections of brown and black, and of course the red circles on their cheeks. The Hadrachu was lightning fast, almost quick enough to keep up with the blue-quilled raptor, who we looked at on a previous day. Their powerful legs and finned tails made them speedy and able to maneuver difficult terrain with ease. These creatures had rather large eyes and 2 crests on their heads that resembled ears, giving them a very cute and approachable appearance. These are the only herbivores that we look at today, but don't let that fool you. If these creatures needed to get violent to protect themselves or their young, they were fully capable of doing so. Now, like with the Spinosaurus Cyndaquil design, originally I wanted to make this a kind of vicious dinosaur. In fact, this whole episode originally spawned with an idea for me to turn Pikachu into a T-Rex. I was going to do some weird Pokemon dinosaur fusions, but then when I got the idea for the Nidoking T-Rex and the idea for the Feraligatr Mosasaurus, I was like, well, those ideas kind of make sense, so maybe I should try to make this design make sense as well. And I mean, this design does make the least sense of all the ones in the video, but making it a herbivore felt more fitting, and I'd originally considered making this something like a saber-toothed tiger or some kind of dinosaur-age mammal, but I really wanted to do some kind of herbivorous bipedal dinosaur for Pikachu, because I don't know if I've done any 2-legged herbivores in my dinosaur episodes, which, now that I'm saying it, sounds really specific, but I kind of wanted to do it. So I decided to make Pikachu one of those duck-billed dinosaurs, and add crests on his head that look kind of like ears to give it that more Pikachu look, and then add some spikes or fins to the tail, and overall it obviously is the weirdest idea in the video, but I do really like how it ends up turning out. I think it's cute and fun, and, you know, a Pikachu dinosaur. Hope you all like the result. Here is the Hadrachu. You know what, I might have to stop referring to the dinosaur videos as Dragon Light videos, because honestly, I like this about as much as most of my dragon videos. I didn't expect to turn any of the drawings in this video into posters, but I'm definitely going to turn the Feraligatr one into a poster, and if I can format it properly, if it fits nicely in the poster format, I'll do Nidoking T-Rex as well. Those will be on my Teespring store, I'll link it in the description, but they might also be available in a little bar under this video. But anyway, everybody, should I do more Pokemon dinosaurs? Or what other things should I do with Pokemon? There's obviously so much potential because there's so many awesome designs in Pokemon. I am also still trying to come up with a good idea for a Digimon-focused episode. I've got a few ideas, but haven't quite figured out what I want to do with it. If you've got suggestions for that too, leave them in the comments. And of course, if you're new here, make sure to check out a whole bunch of my other dinosaur videos or dragon videos. They're all kind of like this, with a little bit of lore and a little bit of talking about the design process. But besides that, that's all for today. I'm Christian Pearson. This has been PopCross Studios, home of the Nerdy Start videos on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next video on Monday. Goodbye.